important in logistics. Transport means all of you know what kind of transport we generally use: rail, road, air, water. These are the four basic transport systems we use for transporting our goods from manufacturing facility to destination. So logistics is transports for transferring goods from one place to another place. So first we will discuss road transport, then rail, then ocean, then water will follow on in this chapter. My voice is audible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in road system, basically there are five kind of roads in India will face. The first is national highway, second one is state highways, third major district roads, fourth other district roads, and fifth rural roads. These, I don't want to discuss about all these things because you know how what is national highway and all those things. If anybody want me to elaborate on these 5 points, then I will discuss. Otherwise, I will move forward. Because national highway, state highway, rural road, state road is all of you I think know. There is no point of discussing further or more in this regard. Shall I go forward?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then the point comes when no, what is the role of road service? How important the role? How important the road service, or what is the importance of road service in logistics or in transportation? First thing, your uh, road transport, the major advantage is in all over India. There is means now it's after this globalization and all those things, all areas in India are connected by some kind of road. If you means India will take 100%, 10 apart from 10% where there is no road, no connectivity, 90% of India or 90% of our country is connected through any kind of road. That may be national highway, maybe state, maybe rural. So what it benefit us that we can directly go to the customer. Our product will directly reach to the customer. So the customer may be, suppose somebody is living in rural area, 200, 300, 400, 500 kilometers from Bhubaneswar. People use air transport, that goods will come to Bhubaneswar only. But if you want to reach that to the customer, you have to use road transport. The basic benefit, wherever the customer lives, you can send your goods through road transport to that place. However, the customer unreachable to via ocean, via your air transport, he or she can be reached through road transport. This is the major benefit that all means major areas in India are connected with some kind of roads. Then your speedy, reliability, relatively less stringent packaging. These are the three major points. Speed means suppose somebody is living in rural areas, you cannot that can't be connected with rail transport. Nearest station you can take the goods by lorry or truck. That goods can be reached with that rural customer. Then speedy, reliability. Though it is small, means truck size is small, you can put your goods in better quality. Everything, so the reliability means the goods will be reached to the customer with usable condition. Second is relatively less stringent packaging. Suppose a truck owner taking your goods to reach with the customers, who will take carefully. Same, suppose you are doing a job in Delhi, you are transferring to Bhubaneswar, you are taking all your luggage with train. One train transport, another is your road transport. People always prefer road transport because of safety of their goods. Because in train they will handle the goods improperly. When you are if you are getting a bike transported from one place to another, the bike may be broken, some mirror may be broken. All of you face the same situation. So in case of safety of goods, reliability, always people use your road transport as compared to your rail transport. Within the national boundary or our national territory, road transport is very much useful because of this facility of reaching your goods from your manufacturing facility to your destination. Then what is the limitation of road transport? What are the major limitations we face in road transport? All of you know major infrastructure, means one road, means narrow road, heavy traffic. These are the major disadvantages we are facing in developing country. But in modern countries, where what developed countries, their road is wide, there is no traffic jam, population is less, lot of infrastructure facility. All these are in you will get in developed countries, but in developing countries, this you will face this kind of problem like traffic, congestion, narrow wide roads are not up to the mark. So that's why these are the limitation in road transport. But nowadays, if you we are acquainted with news and all those things, we are getting to know that government is uh, taking initiative for providing a separate freight corridor, separate corridor where the goods when in that corridor only the goods will be transported, so that there will be no traffic congestion. In India nowadays, in one road, your buses are going, trucks are going, goods are transported, people are going through going in same road, so that's why this traffic congestion is there. But if you are making a separate and new corridor where goods will be transported, there will be no traffic. Now, people, National Highway Authority or your transport minister, who is taking very much initiative on making good road, being now who are staying in from Bhubaneswar to Baleswar in that corridor. Earlier there was two lane. Now then after it is 4 lane. Then now they are making it 6 lane. So they are making it because because to overcome this kind of problem like your poor road quality, traffic congestion, and your to reduce number of accident. Okay, am I clear now? Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Up to this, it is clear now. Then expansion of road network and modernization of fleet. Expansion of road network, you know how why it is taking place, because to overcome all these limitations we have discussed now, you have to do modernization of road network. So there are 3 4 schemes government is providing. One, in your book, there is in first paragraph there is BOT, that means build, operate and transfer. BOOT, build, own, operate, transfer. BOO, build, own, operate. Then the last one, which is generally used in large infrastructure project, that is build, own, lease and transfer. All of you know, when there is a national new highway is going on, or a new road is constructed, after that the company gives lease to some agency to make a toll gate on this and collect fees from your bus and truck, those vehicles who are passing by this. If you pass by this national highway from Bhubaneswar to Bhadrak, there are 3 4 toll gates. What the toll gates are do, they collect money from vehicle and deposit with the company who has constructed this bridge or road, because it will take, if they have taken 100 years lease, so that their total investment can be recovered. So after the investment recovered, they will totally transfer the road to government, so there is no toll tax. So when if you see, in which area the investment is recovered, then people then company will transfer that land to that road to government. Then after there is no toll taxes. Okay, so generally in large infrastructural project, government will adhere to bolt is build, operate, own and build, own, operate, build, own, lease, transfer. This technique is used for large infrastructure project, road or bridge, port, everything. Okay, am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Am I okay? Then come to rail transport. Rail transport, all of you see rail transport. This is general means discussion about common things. In those who have seen mal by trains operating or have seen any mal by trains, you can, if you saw 10 15 trains mal by trains, then you can easily know what kind of goods or commodities are transported in that train. Basically, the trains I have seen, the goods transported in those trains mainly of bulk quantity, having less value and need less care. Means what kind of goods may be? That may be coals, maybe iron ores, maybe heavy goods that cannot be transported through trucks, tanks. If in case of army, they are putting tanks on train because it is trucks cannot carry them. So these kind of transported rail transport, good maybe bulk commodity or general category goods or containerized cargo. Means if the goods are more precious, to stop wastage, stop theft, stop pilferage, they make a container, full sealed container. In that container, goods will be loaded, then it will be opened in the place of destination. But generally, goods which are in quantity less, they only there is no container. So if you mark any goods, easily make it visible that some their goods are only a pali, or some goods are container which is fully covered, some are open. The the rods, the pipes, they are only open. They are only tied with a chain, but that cover area is open because they are not perishable, not destroyable by your climatic condition. Because but if you coal, iron ore, where there is humidity and all those things are controlled, they are only covered by borpali or covered by polythene. Okay. Then your next transport come water transport. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Oh, am I clear up to now? What we have discussed till now, is there any doubt on that? Hello? Is there any doubt to whatever we discussed now? Or I will move to water transport. Hello? Hello?
Next, sir.
Okay. So water transport mainly divided into two types. One is your inland water transport. Second one is your ocean transport. Inland water transport means within a country by utilizing rivers, canals, small rivers, and all those things. If you transport goods from one place to another within a country, then it is inland water transport, or if you are exporting goods through ocean, that is called ocean transport. So there is a Inland Waterways Authority of India, which set up in 1986 under the Inland Waterways Authority of India Act 1985. The basic objective of this authority is to develop inland waterways to transfer goods or for transportation of goods from one place to another. One thing you keep in mind, the water transport is only possible where there is water connectivity, where there is river, canal, then you can transport the goods from one place to another. The major disadvantages of this is that if in the water is continuously flowing or the continuously maintaining same level throughout the year, you can develop a transport through inland. Suppose the what there in the canal, in a river, there are water in rainy season, it is dried in summer season, then you cannot develop a water transport system in that river, or that river is not reliable to transfer the goods from one place to another because it is seasonally maintainable. The first waterways that has been set up is Allahabad Haldia sketch. Allahabad Haldia means, if you know, you have some geographical knowledge, you can imagine from Allahabad to Haldia. I mean, Haldia means in West Bengal, Allahabad is in UP. The major water, the major river is Ganga. So from on in Ganga there is water is throughout the year. There is no shortage of water. So that corridor is firstly set up by the inland authority. That this second is Sadia Dhubri beach, means Brahma, that area is under Brahmaputra river. That river is also maintainable. Then Kotapuram Kolam stretch, that is your, some canals are connected. So some, with help of some canals, there the goods are transported from one place to another place. The constraints faced by inland water transport, what I've already I discussed, that the major disadvantage or major problem here is the flow of water. If there is no flow of water, you cannot use those in transporting of goods. If there will be no water, how we will transport goods from one place to another? In India, there are some rivers or canals which are full, which are maintaining flow of water throughout the year. In that you can develop a inland water transport, but in river and canals and where it is dried in summer or where the water level reduces in summer, you cannot develop a inland water transport in there. Then air transport also that this goods can be reached with speedy reliability, but it is too costly, and heavy bulk quantity cannot be transported through air. In air you cannot transport coal. In air you cannot transport iron ore. So that heavy heavy or bulk quantity you cannot transfer in air, and you can transport some delicate goods, valuable goods through air transport, though it is little bit costly. In the civil aviation, which controlling this air transport, is basically divided into three parts. One is your regulatory, second is operational, third one is your infrastructural. Operational means the operational the carrier who are operating, the carriers who are operating to transport goods from one to another. Suppose Indian Airlines, Indigo, your Lufthansa, whatever the airlines you can name, that are the carriers. Those are the carriers who will transfer goods from one place to another. Again, there is infrastructural. If there will be no airport, no infrastructural facility, then goods cannot be transported through air. So, infrastructural facility to prepare, develop airports that can be maintained by Airport Authority of India, who is responsible for management of airports, development of airports, domestic or international. Third one, regulatory. There will be some regulatory body who will give license to carriers to operate. In India, there is Director of Civil Aviation, which is a regulating body who is responsible for giving license or to carriers to operate. Is the air transport is clear or not? Hello,
Yes,
hello.
sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then your multimodal transport. Multimodal transport means when there is at least two mode of transport is used, that is called multimodal. Suppose I am goods are transported from Delhi to Bhubaneswar by air, Bhubaneswar to my place at truck, that is multimodal. Goods are transported from Paradip to Haldia, then Haldia to truck, Haldia to by train to my place. Then it is known as multimodal transport. Means where at least two modes of transport use. That may be rail, road, maybe water road, water rail, air rail, whatever may be. So when I gave my goods to be transported from one place to another to a company. Suppose I want to transport goods from Bhadrak to Delhi. I have given consignment to some carrier company that my goods will be transported someplace. I don't know how this goods will be transported. He will take it directly by from here to some port, then he will transport it. He will take the goods by air from Bhubaneswar to Delhi, then by truck. That I don't know. So then it will be multimodal transport. In multimodal transport, the packing is very much important. How or why? Because when the goods will be transported in two modes, the packing should be such that it will solve the purpose of two modes. Means once the goods will be transported through air, then you have to pack again pack it for rail transport or in air transport. Though it is very costly, the goods are taken care of very seriously. But in rail or road transport, if the packing is not good, there is chance of destruction of goods in the way. So there will be means container ISO containers who are ISO means containers which are safety requires safety measures, that containers are used for trans multimodal transport where the goods will be no less destruction of goods or less proliferation of goods. So this chapter is over. Now come to warehousing. So in previous basically discussed about transport and the benefits and their limitation. We discussed your road transport, rail transport, air transport, and water transport briefly in the last chapter. Then on I explain, otherwise I will move to next chapter, that is warehousing. Shall I move to warehousing?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If people have, if people have now
Your voice is breaking. Actually, you are not audible.
Now am I audible?
Yeah, it's clear now, but I don't know what happens in the between.
Now I'm audible or not?
Now you are audible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
okay, sir. Okay, sir. So the next chapter we will now discuss is warehousing. Please let me know if my voice is not audible because I'm using microphone and all those things, but I don't know what happens in network. There is no that is not audible. So please let me know if I'm not audible. Make alternate arrangement. Shall I start the new chapter warehousing?
Yes, sir.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Warehousing is not a new concept. In management or in logistics, warehousing is not a new concept. It is it is very much present in ancient stage from when the when king or queens are ruling the country. In Egyptian society or in your earlier developed society means Mohenjo-daro and all those things, the history the archaeologer finds that they have a storage room, they have a storage capacity, means this is basically for the agricultural produce, that whatever they through agriculture, they used to store them in a go down to use it in future. So from that storing point, the warehouse is developed. Warehouse is nothing, is a go down. Means if you store goods in certain place, that is known as warehouse. Earlier days, why people storing agricultural produce? Because they know if there is, or because all agricultural or produce are depend upon rain. If there is in certain years there will be no rain, there will be no agricultural produce. So what they will eat? So in anticipation of the future problem, they used to store certain part of their production today for future, in order to stop prevent famine. All these agricultural produce, they are not consuming all, store little bit for the future consumption. This is concept of warehousing come from the ancient age. But nowadays, why warehouse is important? In logistic part, I already explained to you. Now the production capacity is, or production factory or production location is diversely located. Some goods are produced in north, but all over India they are consumed. So what company do? They choose strategic location where they make an warehouse to cater the needs of the consumer. Suppose some goods are produced in Pune or some goods are produced in Delhi. They want to cater the needs of the eastern region, means eastern part, Bihar, Odisha, Jharkhand, Assam, all the northeast part, they want to cater the needs. What they will do? If every time one consumer will give an order, it will process from Pune, then it will take time of reaching of that goods from Pune to this particular place. So what they will do? They make a warehouse or they make a go down where they can store some goods or store some variety of goods That stores may be in Calcutta, maybe in Bhubaneswar, that may be in Vizag. This location of the warehouse should be that it can to customers. If the customer pay, they will make their godown or warehouse in Calcutta. Because from Calcutta, goods can be easily transported. Suppose I gave an order in Bhubaneswar, the goods can be transported from Calcutta to Bhubaneswar, it will take hardly 2 days. Same order, if it will be monitored from Pune goods will be dispatched, it will take more than 1 week. So in order to delay in supply of goods, all companies have warehouse in different strategic locations. Am I clear? Am I clear, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. In warehouse, there are three parties. One who have warehouse, second who deposit goods in that warehouse, third warehouse man. What is a warehouse? Warehouse is any building or structure or protected enclosure. Means warehouse is an area which is protected from all the climatic conditions, all covered so that goods can be stored in that. This is called warehouse. Then depositor means the person who wants to use the facility of warehouse and deposit their goods in this warehouse. It's called owner of the goods. One is owner of the one is warehouse. Second one is owner of the warehouse. Third one is owner of the goods. Who is owner of the goods? If you deposit want to avail the facility of the warehouse, deposit the goods in warehouse, he is depositor. Then warehouse man who obtained license for carrying out this warehouse function. This person, जो person use warehouse facility, he is known as warehouse man. These are three parties in warehouse. Then elements of warehouse, first is space, second one is equipment, third is people. This is all in your book. You can see space, equipment and people. To build a warehouse or to construct a warehouse, you need space. You need a area where you have to build a warehouse. The cost of the space, the cost of that location will depend upon demand. If you want to build a warehouse in Bhubaneswar, it is too costly. If you want to move towards Khordha, where land is little bit less costly, then the space is less costly. The warehouse is less costly. So the space required for warehouse depends upon, or the cost of the space of the warehouse depends upon the demand of the space. Means if it place is in high demand, you have to pay heavy cost for warehouse construction. If the space is less in demand, you will pay less cost. Next one is equipment. Equipment means machinery used in warehouse for storage of goods. Because all goods cannot be stored in ground. Some goods should be specially stored in racks so that it will be proper condition. Then from warehouse, again loading and unloading. That you need equipment. If some goods, some depositor came in and to unload the goods in your warehouse, you will store them through machinery. Then you load these goods again for distribution. Then also you need equipment. So the warehouse which is modernized, in modernized warehouse, all main functions are done by equipment, because human cannot lift up heavy things. So warehouse take the help of equipment to arrange the goods, to load the goods, and to unload the goods. Then third one is people. What people do? Lastly, all equipment should be run by people. Mechanics and people will take care of the equipment, take care of the goods, which carrying of the total area space, because in order to prevent theft, in order to prevent destruction, wastage, people will look into. So warehouse basically has three components. One is your space, equipment, third is people. Am I clear? Hello? Up to this it is clear or not?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Then is function of warehousing. Functions of warehousing, it is in your book. First one is stock building, second one is product mixing, third one is consolidation, fourth one is distribution. Stockpiling means storage of goods. When stockpiling will be done? When there is seasonal demand and production throughout the year. Suppose umbrella, you take the example of umbrella, which is demanded mostly on the rainy season. The production is it is produced only 3 or 4 months is demanded. Your stock will be production, you to to for throughout. Okay. Then is product. Producing means suppose a company who is producing a large variety of product. Means suppose Hindustan Unilever is producing soap, everything. Hindustan Unilever tea, all variety of goods are produced by Hindustan Unilever. If he wants to make a warehouse so that all the goods are available in one place, then also he will make a warehouse where different line of product will be stored, maybe soap, maybe tea, maybe your all kind of goods can be stored. That is called product mixing. Then consolidation means सबको लाके इकट्ठा रखना. Consolidate करना means collection of goods and stores in one place. Suppose you want to ship your goods from Paradip to Maldives. In that ship, you have to send medicine, foods, grains, and all those things. So what will you do? You will take a warehouse on rent in your Paradip port. Then you collect goods, first medicine, then food, then whatever other goods you want to send through ship, you will again first collect these goods, then load the ship and send them. You cannot hire a ship first, then load medicine, then go and come with food, again load food, then go and come with some another commodity. Up to that time, a ship cannot be hired because it will be too costly. So, what company do? They have a warehouse. In that warehouse, all the commodities they want to send will be stored. Then ship will be loaded and the ship will go to the destination. Then distribution. Distribution means the manufacturer pushes the goods to the market. मैन्युफैक्चर ने गुड्स प्रोड्यूस कर दिया. अभी उसका काम क्या है ना, दिस विल रीच टू द कस्टमर्स, द कस्टमर विल परचेज इट एंड दे विल buy from it. Suppose goods are produced, they will stored in some warehouse near Calcutta. They send, then from Calcutta they will distribute the goods to Odisha, Bihar, Jharkhand, all those things. That is called distribution. These are the four major functions of warehousing. Am I clear now? Any doubt on stockpiling, product mixing, consolidation, and distribution? I will explain. If anybody has any doubt. Hello? Hello?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So why so much time? So you are taking so much time to respond. Then warehousing as an instrument of economic development. Development, why your warehousing is needed. In the functions warehousing we already discussed. So in order to suppose in India in a year paddy is produced in large quantities. So after consumption some food grains are left. If these food grains are not stored in a proper manner, it can be wasted, it can be go to vein, this cannot be used in future. So if you store these goods at the time of use, you can reuse them. In case of emergency, you can be use it. So in this way, by stopping wastage of national goods, it leads to economic development where the goods are not wasted, stored properly, then it will be leads to economic development. Second, warehouse we discussed that is place utility and time utility in yesterday's class. So warehouse also solve solve the purpose of place utility and time utility. If you have forgotten this time utility and place utility, I will again say, but I already told in last class that what is time utility, what is place utility. So if you on doubt regarding this place and time utilities, I will explain. Otherwise, I will not explain this again. Another thing, what this warehouse do, that smooth supply of goods. These goods can be supplied from manufacturer to consumer in a uninterrupted way because of this warehouse system. So because of this so warehouse leads to economic development. The the warehouse alternatives available. What are the alternative warehouse available? This is one is private warehouse, second is public warehouse, third one is contract or dedicated warehouse. So these alternatives are defined by taking the ownership into control. Means in private ownership, suppose Hyundai is producing in Gurgaon and Hyundai has a private warehouse in Calcutta. That means that warehouse is owned by Hyundai. In that warehouse, the Hyundai has complete control over, because the warehouse is owned by Hyundai, everything is owned by Hyundai, then it is controlled by Hyundai. So full control over warehouse is called private warehouse. Warehousing, the private warehouse must attract your efficient management team. So private warehouse, what if that is owned by them, so they use all modernized skill or modernized labor in that warehouse. Second one is public warehouse. Public warehouse means warehouse developed by government or warehouse developed by some another person. You are only taking it as rent. Suppose I don't have house in Bhubaneswar. My job is shifted to Bhubaneswar. Then I will take house on rent. House owned by some other person. I am only taking the benefit of that house and paying rent. In public warehouse, the same thing happens. That warehouse belongs to government or some third party. the person who utilize, who want to take the benefit of this warehouse, come store his goods in the warehouse, pays rent for the warehouse for the time you want to keep the goods on this warehouse. So in public warehouse, the depositor has less control, because once the goods are stored in the public warehouse, the goods are pledged with the public warehouse. So without the permission of the public warehouse owner or third party, you cannot take the goods back. What is the benefit of that? Suppose government has a Calcutta, I want to utilize that warehouse in Calcutta. I go take permission from the government, deposit the goods in that warehouse. In this case, the public warehouse give me a warehouse receipt that this much of quantity of goods with this description have been stored with our godown or warehouse. In that receipt, or with the help of that receipt, I can take loan from bank, that my goods have been stored in that public warehouse. So I want to take loan, I need money, keep the warehouse receipt, give me loan. The government will give you loan, because once you gave the goods to the public warehouse, you lost control over that. So if the bank give instruction to the warehouse, until I clear it, you will not deliver the goods back to the owner of the goods. So in this case, you can pledge that receipt and take the loan. This is the benefit of a third party warehouse. So a public warehouse required to obtain license from the licensing authority. Those who are giving license to operate warehouse, a public warehouse will take the permission from that license authority to operate warehouse. Again, this what I told now, the warehouse receipt is a negotiable instrument. Negotiable instrument is easily transferable. If you transport that receipt to some other person, that owner of the goods may be transferred from you to that other person. This is called negotiable instrument. Third one is contract or dedicated warehousing. Contract dedicated warehousing means it is a combination of public and private warehouse, where the warehouse offer service for a longer period of time than your public warehouse. Suppose public warehouse gives service for month to month basis. This contract or dedicated warehouse means up to the time you may contract for 1 year, 2 year. I want to store my goods in your godown or in your warehouse. Then I make a contract with you that I will enjoy the facility. So as compared to public warehouse, the duration is long in case of contract or dedicated warehouse. Clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then the advantage of using public warehouse. What are the advantages you use? What are the advantages for using public? If anybody has book, yesterday some person show that book on screen. Kindly, maybe anybody has book with him or her now. Kindly put it in screen so that all of you who don't have book can read the advantages. What are the advantages of public warehousing? If anybody has book with him now, kindly put it on screen so that all of you can read these advantages. Okay.
Sir, please wait 2 minutes.
Sorry. Hello.
Please wait 2 minutes, then I will share the book.
Okay. So until she shared the book, the first advantage warehousing is the storage facility can be availed in a desired location as and when required at a known cost. Because of warehouse, you can get the storage facility at any location you want. Suppose you are taking goods from one place to another. In the middle, you want warehousing. That if there is warehouse, you can store the goods. Then, if the warehouse is a trained technical person, the goods can be properly preserved without any handling storage. The goods can be insured against in warehouse. The goods can be insured in against all risks, that is flood, theft, nominal cost, and all those things. Next, the goods can be stored in public warehouse until the market price is suitable. Means up to up to the time I want, I can keep the goods in the warehouse until the market is suitable for me. Suppose I want to sell my goods on certain rupees, the market demand is low, goods are selling at lower price. I will store the goods in the warehouse. I will wait up to the market is in good condition. Advance can be obtained. The point just I discussed just now. In by giving warehouse receipt, you can take advance from the bank, or warehouse receipt is a negotiable instrument by transfer of which get. Then uncertainty in the availability of raw material. Suppose raw material, there is scarcity of raw material. You cannot procure the raw material in all time. So what will you do? You procure the raw material when it is available plentifully and store the raw material in a warehouse, so that your production there will be smooth flow production. The production will not be stopped because of raw material shortage. Public warehouse also helps in what? Distribution of goods, like your food grains, fertilizer. Suppose FCI, Food Corporation of India, a different warehouse in different part of the country. What they do in case of, suppose in this lockdown, government want that all persons, poor persons should be given free food grains. How it is possible? Because of the warehouse of FCI. Because FCI has go down all over the country, government instruct FCI that supply food or food grains to the poor people. So it will also help in distribution of goods. These are the advantages. Then cost structure. What are the costs involved in warehousing? First one is your warehouse operating cost. Second one is warehouse inventory cost. Third one is to and fro transport cost. Fourth one is your handling cost. What is warehouse operating cost means? That may be fixed cost or maybe variable cost. Means in warehouse operating cost, large part of cost is mainly fixed cost, because once you construct a warehouse, you have to pay certain fixed expenses irrespective of your storage. Then if you store goods, then you need watchman, then you need electricity, then everything you need, that is called variable cost. Third one is your what? To and fro, means goods will be transported to your house, then again the time of need again destination. So to and fro. Then handling cost. To and fro means the transportation cost. Handling cost means loading, unloading cost. While goods are transported to your warehouse, it will unload. Then when it will be transported again to the destination, it will again loaded. So all these costs are involved in warehouse system. Then warehousing corporation in India. That means government, by the recommendation of Rural Credit Survey Committee, ready to setting up the central and state warehousing system by Warehousing Corporation Act. 1962. So रूरल क्रेडिट सर्वे कमिटी जो रिजर्व बैंक 1950 में सेटअप की थी, that committee has recommended that India now needed warehousing in all central level or state level. So a separate new warehousing corporation act is passed in 1962. The basic objective of this act is prepare central and state warehousing system, central warehousing, and the state warehousing and district level warehousing. So these are mainly three tier system: central, state, and your district warehousing system. All the districts have one warehouse set up by the Warehousing Corporation Act. What are the broad objective of this warehousing corporation? That creation of negotiable paper to provide an instrument for expansion of credit. It is also discussed that the Warehousing Corporation Act, what they developed, they said only storage of goods will not help. If I will only store the goods that I have no use, then I will be not. Suppose I produce goods and stored it, then where I will get money from further production? That is a major concern. So this Warehousing Act says that once a company produce goods and stored it in the storehouse because of less demand, then how, from where it will take money to again further production? So you help them in such a way that the warehouse receipt, they will receive warehouse man, they can pledge it to the bank and take loan, and they use that loan in further production. This is the first benefit this warehouse act give to utilize the receipt and get money from bank, and that money can be used for further production. Suppose छोटा मोटा बिजनेस करता हूँ, प्रोडक्शन कर दिया, that goods लेके स्टोर कर दिया, तो मैं कहाँ से पैसा लाऊंगा उसको फिर अगेन प्रोडक्शन करने के लिए? So to overcome this limitation, or to the help to the small businessman, what warehousing company do? Because warehouse corporation is a third party, goods are now stored in a third party. So third party give you a receipt. By that receipt, you can get the loan or take advance from bank, and you can again utilize it for the production. Second, adding to the nation's real income. और क्या करेगा? नहीं, if you store goods on proper manner, so that there will be less wastage, it will indirectly or directly add to the real income of the nation. जहाँ पे wastage कम होगा, wastage नहीं होगा, automatically it will lead to saving of goods, and it will help the nation. Then provide assistance in orderly marketing. If you put the goods in a public warehouse, they categorize that goods, that they certify that goods in good grade, bad grade, medium grade. It will help in marketing, because as public warehouse is a third party, their review of the goods is act as a reputation for your goods. Suppose you want to buy a mobile phone from Amazon, now what people do, they see the reviews of people. Now those who have already purchased the phone, what is their review? 4 star, 5 star, 3 star. So after seeing the review, they get to know if I want to buy the goods or not, because the person who are giving their review, they're independent party, they have no self interest, so their opinion can be taken as true, and they can be used as a tool for purchase. Then और क्या काम करता है वेयर हाउसिंग ना? ट्रेन पीपुल, लोगों को ट्रेन करता है, सो दैट दे कैन यूज मॉडर्न टेक्निक टू स्टोर द गुड्स. ये एक और काम है कि लोगों को ट्रेन करना, सो दैट दे कैन यूज मॉडर्न वेयर हाउस. Providing assistance to government and government sponsored organization in their scheme of price support and price control. One हो गया price support, another हो गया price control. आप situation in many time only किलो जो प्याज होता है, प्याज किलो हो गया 200 के person they can buy.
Sir, sound breaking.
Back. Sound breaking. Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I make you understand what is price support and price control. Okay. What is price support? Suppose I am telling that suppose a essential commodity, मेडिसिन हो गया, खाने का दाल का रेट हो गया, प्याज का रेट हो गया, आलू का रेट हो गया, ये स्काई राइजिंग हो गया, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा हो गया. तो प्याज किलो 100 रुपया हो गया, 200 रुपया हो गया. Rich people have no problem. They have money, they can buy. Problem arises for poor persons. What they will do? So government at that time intervene. गवर्नमेंट क्या करेगा ना, जितना स्टोर करके रखा है टमाटर हो, प्याज हो, जो भी हो, जिसका रेट ज्यादा हो गया, मेडिसिन हो, वो क्या करेगा, मार्केट को सप्लाई करना स्टार्ट कर देगा. तो क्या होगा, मार्केट में जब गुड्स का क्वांटिटी ज्यादा बढ़ जाएगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली लीड्स टू रिडक्शन इन द प्राइस. इन दिस वे दे कैन कंट्रोल द प्राइस ऑफ एसेंशियल कमोडिटी. अदरवाइज इफ इट विल नॉट, द गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट कंट्रोल, sometimes you will buy piyaj at 20 rupees, sometimes at 100 rupees, sometimes at 200 rupees. So in this way government controls the price of essential commodities by taking the help of different warehouse. Then functions of central warehousing corporation, it is in your book, functions of warehousing corporation. It is in your book. Somebody can put that book on your cover, in your screen. There are 8 points. First one is कि इंडिया में जहां जहां पे गोडाउन और वेयरहाउसिंग, सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग करेगा, पे बिल्ड करेगा क्या ना, वेयरहाउस बिल्ड करेगा. फर्स्ट हो गया बिल्ड, एक्वायर एंड बिल्ड गोडाउन. सेकेंड, एक्वायर करने के बाद क्या करेगा, टू रन दो वेयर हाउस. वेयर हाउस को रन करेगा, सो दैट एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस आर स्टोर्ड, और एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोड्यूस, सीड्स, फर्टिलाइजर कैन बी स्टोर्ड इन दैट वेयर हाउस. Then it will help assist transportation of goods from farm to warehouse and warehouse to market. Suppose you built a warehouse in a certain location जहाँ पे कोई कनेक्टिविटी नहीं है, तो वहां पे सामान लेगा कौन, रखेगा कौन, फिर लाएगा कौन. So in order to make it smooth, you need to build a warehouse where there is some connectivity there, so that goods can be easily transported to the godown, can easily transported to the market. To subscribe to the share capital of state warehousing corporation. और क्या करेगा ना, सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन क्या करेगा ना, स्टेट वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन को फंडिंग देगा. सब्सक्राइब शेयर कैपिटल मींस इट विल प्रोवाइड फंडिंग टू द स्टेट वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन, सो दैट स्टेट वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन क्या करेगा ना, स्टेट में डिफरेंट प्लेस में मैन्युफैक्चर बा बिल्ड करेगा क्या, गोडाउन. इट इज अनदर फंक्शन ऑफ सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग सिस्टम. फिफ्थ क्या करेगा ना, दिस सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग सिस्टम विल एक्ट एज एन एजेंट. एजेंट किसका ना, गवर्नमेंट का. फॉर व्हाट, फॉर परचेज, सेल ऑफ फूड ग्रेन्स, सीड्स, फर्टिलाइजर्स, ऑल दोज थिंग्स. ये जो सेंट्रल वेयरहाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन है, इट विल एक्ट एज एन एजेंट ऑफ गवर्नमेंट to sell and purchase all the essential commodities by the instruction of the government. These are the functions of central warehousing. There are another 3 points. Please go through it. If it will, then I will make you understand. Otherwise, there is no point of understanding each point. We have already discussed briefly the majority of points. Another 3 point left. Please go through it. If you have a book, then I will move to some other part of this chapter.
Sir, what is the meaning of buffer stock in warehousing?
Buffer stock means safety stocks. Okay, buffer means
Yes, sir.
safety. The basic objective of warehousing is to maintain safety stocks. I have already given you example. In lockdown, when there is no production, lot of migrant workers are shifted to their
Yes,
own
sir.
state. There is no money, nothing. So how government take the initiative of feeding them? गवर्नमेंट अभी कैसे क्या किया कि कैसे उनको खाने खाने दिया? अगर गवर्नमेंट के पास स्टॉक नहीं होता, स्टोरेज स्टॉक सेफ्टी स्टॉक नहीं होता, तो गवर्नमेंट कहां से लाता खाने के लिए देने के लिए उनको? Are you getting me? So this facility is available because of this warehousing system. And mind it, this warehouse is located in every place, means every district, so that there will be immediately transport. अगर एक वेयर हाउस दिल्ली में होता और दिल्ली से गुड्स उड़ीसा में आता ट्रांसपोर्ट होके, तो कितना टाइम लगता? तो इसीलिए द फंक्शन ऑफ वेयर हाउसिंग इज एक्ट एन एजेंट टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट गुड्स. ये जो वेयर हाउसिंग सिस्टम है, ये गवर्नमेंट का एजेंट की तरह काम करता है इन द टाइम ऑफ नीड. ये जो टाइम अभी नीड चल रहा है, अभी लॉकडाउन, ये लॉकडाउन ये एक नीड है व्हेन गवर्नमेंट यूजेस द हेल्प ऑफ वेयर हाउस टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट गुड्स. ये वेरी फाइन एग्जांपल है वेयर हाउसिंग सिस्टम का. ऑल ऑफ यू आर सीइंग द न्यूज, एवरीथिंग, that how government is giving foods to total in India 1.3 billion people are there, so much large population. If you want to feed them, then need how much food grain is required for storage? Imagine the quantity. Is it clear now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then diversified warehousing activities of Central Warehousing Corporation. There are different type of warehouse. First is your customs. First one is your custom bonded warehouse. Okay, what the warehouse means? Custom bonded warehouse means those imported goods which has to pay customs. Suppose I bought a machinery from USA for production. I have to pay customs. So goods are reached in Paradip. I have not paid the custom duties. Where these goods will be stored? If it will be left outside, there may be chance of loss, may be chance of destruction. So directly from that, with the permission of customs, the goods will be transported to custom bonded warehouse. Are you getting me? Listen carefully. I am giving the example again. Suppose I am a manufacturer in Odisha. I want to import a machinery from USA or UK or any country you need. Goods reached in Paradip port, but I have not paid custom duties. अगर मैं custom duty paid नहीं किया, that means goods cannot be delivered to me. मेरे को नहीं देंगे goods को, तो क्या करेंगे वो? ऐसे तो goods को लाके वो बाहर फेंक नहीं देंगे ना. If they kept it outside, so there is chance of loss. खराब हो सकता है, वो इतना महंगा चीज खराब होगा तो who is responsible? So in this case, what they do now, from directly customs they will transport to the custom bonded warehouse. Means this warehouse, with the collaboration of customs or taken permission of the customs, that machinery will be transported to custom bonded warehouse, can be stored safely. And when the person who imported that machinery payment the custom duties, then it is hand over to the person who imported the goods. Is it clear now? Is it clear now what is custom bonded warehouse? Hello, any doubt on this? Hello? 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 Hello, am I audible? Hello? 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 Please anybody
Yes, sir.
respond. Okay. Then is excise bonded warehouse. It is same like custom bonded warehouse, but it is same thing. What I explained in custom bonded warehouse, same thing. If they have not paid an excise, the excise duty on certain goods, the goods will be transferred to the excise bonded warehouse. Then when you pay excise duty, it will hand over to you. Then leased warehouse. When the storage accommodation is not available in the warehouse of the corporation, मीन जहां वेयर हाउस कॉर्पोरेशन का जगह नहीं है और गोडाउन नहीं है, दिस वेयर हाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ सेंट्रल वेयर हाउसिंग कॉर्पोरेशन हैज नो गोडाउन लेफ्ट, बट पर्सन्स वांट वेयर हाउसिंग फैसिलिटी. At that time, what warehousing corporation will do? It will lease warehouse from another persons and give them rent and give the facility to the customers who want their warehousing facility. सपोज भुवनेश्वर में वेयर हाउसिंग सिस्टम का एक दो वेयर हाउस है, दो वेयर हाउस अभी फुल है, बट approach warehousing corporation. In this case, what warehousing corporation will do? He will lease warehouse from another person and give them rent and give the facility to the person who need the service.
Sir, one question, sir. Sir,
Okay.
central warehousing is governed by the government of India or state government?
No. Central warehousing governed by central government.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Then is your operation of CFS. CFS means container freight stations. CFS means container freight stations. These warehousing are built nearest to port. जहां पे बंदर होगा, पोर्ट होगा, वहां पे ये वेयर हाउसिंग सिस्टम बनाया जाएगा. जो वेयर पोर्ट में जैसे भेजने के लिए जैसे कंटेनर होता है, तो वहां पे कंटेनर स्टेशन बनाया जाएगा, सो दैट इट कैन बी लोडेड इनटू पोर्ट, loaded into ship and it will transported. So all the major ports have this kind of warehouse where container freight stations. Then is transit warehouse. Transit warehouse means that warehouse is up to the international standard. Means satellite freight city by the government of India in the near of Indira Gandhi Airport. So container freight station near port, transit warehouse by satellite freight city. This kind of warehouse are nearest to major airport. So container freight stations nearest to port or transit warehouse nearest to major airport. So these are known as satellite freight city. It is up to the all international levels all the international mechanism are there where goods are transported from one country to another country. In that case, you have to use transit warehouse. Then air cargo complex, where in states or in where regions where export is mainly driven, or where there is more export, suppose Punjab, more export of clothing goods. In that case, they need a cargo complex to send the goods to foreign countries. So the handling of air freighted cargo, the CWC has established the cargo complex at Amritsar, Coimbatore, and Goa. Means where there is mainly export. In that case, export means they will transport it through air. That will be the central warehousing. The central warehousing corporation. What will they do? They build cargo complexes. Last one is specialized storage arrangement. Specialized storage arrangement means there are some commodities where you have to maintain certain temperature, certain cooling, certain kind of your safety measures. In those cases, Central Warehousing Corporation also prepared the cooling warehouses where goods can be stored in a minimum temperature or the restriction they want to put in, or cold storage warehouse. All are made by Central Warehousing Corporation. It is clear up to what I discussed till now. Hello? Hello? Am I audible? Hello? Hello? Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Hello? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please rest. Okay. The last chapter of IBO 5, that is Unit 5, is inventory management and order handling. Inventory means that may be raw material. In inventory management, we will basically study how will you manage raw materials for production. Inventory here means first raw materials which are used for production. What is the need for inventories? Inventory includes raw materials, stores and spare part, work in progress, finished goods. These are all are inventory. Raw material हो गया, थोड़ा थोड़ा spare part हो गया, machine not bolt हो गया, कुछ small part हो गया. Then work in progress means semi finished goods, then semi finished goods. All are come under inventory. Inventories, what they do? They do a several purpose. First one is your customer satisfaction. Production economics. Production economics means if you will produce in large quantities, you will achieve a economies of scale. Means production of a large quantity will lead to reduction in per cost piece. अगर आप ज्यादा प्रोडक्शन करेंगे तो आपका पर पीस कॉस्ट जो है वो कम हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली. दैट इज कॉल्ड इफेक्ट ऑफ प्रोडक्शन इकोनॉमिक्स. परमिट परचेज एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन इकोनॉमिक्स. अगर आप ज्यादा ट्रांसपोर्ट करेंगे देन ऑल्सो द पर पीस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट ऑल्सो रिड्यूसेस. आप एक ट्रक में 5 चीज ट्रांसपोर्ट कर रहे हैं, उसमें 15 ट्रांसपोर्ट करेंगे, दैट मीन्स पावर कॉस्ट ऑटोमेटिकली रिड्यूस हो जाएगा। Act as a hedge against price fluctuation means if we store raw material in advance, then irrespective of market price of the raw material, you can stabilize your price to the customers. Because if you daily purchasing raw material and the raw material price is increasing day by day, you cannot maintain the price. But if you earlier purchase raw material and stored it in your go down, then you can maintain a price. Then protect against uncertainties of demand and lead time. It means the time between giving order and receiving goods. Or in production, lead time is order of raw material and receiving the raw materials. मेरे पास रॉ मटेरियल नहीं है, मैं आज रॉ मटेरियल ऑर्डर करूंगा, तो कितना दिन में आई कैन गेट दैट रॉ मटेरियल, दैट इज कॉल्ड लीड टाइम. Then meet contingencies. Contingency means some suppose strike हो गया, there will be strike, raw material cannot bring raw material. अगर तुम्हारे पास raw material नहीं होगा, क्या होगा? Production बंद हो जाएगा. अगर एक बार पास raw material already storage है, your production will be not hampered by the contingencies. This is known as contingencies. Meet contingencies. Till now, I'm clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. If you have any doubt, then ask me. Okay. No issue on that. You can stop me and ask me. Then factors influencing inventory. So what are the factors that influence inventories? First one is production inventory consisting of raw material and components. Raw material and components. The size of this inventory will be determined by हमें कितना raw material के रखना है. That will depend on that what is the lead time for receiving back the order. हमें कितना दिन तक स्टॉक रखना है हमारे पास जो रॉ मटेरियल, कैसे डिसाइड होगा? सपोज हम आज ऑर्डर कर रहे हैं, हम इफ विल ऑर्डर टुडे विल रिसीव आफ्टर 10 days. सो अप टू 10 हमारा पर डे रिक्वायरमेंट 100 है. सो फॉर 10 days वी हैव टू कीप storage equal to 100 into 10, 1000. So we have to minimum keep 1000 in stock. So when our reaches up to 1000, we'll order. Otherwise, अगर हम हमारा stock fall below 1000 and then we order, then we have to face shortage of raw material and our production will be stopped. So that lead time will be then lead time and alternative or internal lead time means what is the time taken to process the order. Means suppose this department gives requisition that I need certain raw materials by this date. That comes to the department for the internal lead. What is the time taken for internal procedures to give the order? That is called internal lead time. Are you getting me? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What I am teaching internal lead time, you get to know the what internal lead time. Hello? All of you clear what is internal lead time or not? Please respond fast. I have to finish this chapter. Hello? Hello. 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 Anybody is with me? Is with me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. Then second point for storage of raw material is annual consumption. What are the annual consumption of raw material? Third one is reliability of suppliers. Means suppose you are giving that order to the suppliers, in how many days he can send to you. If the supplier is not good, you say give order to be received within 10 days, he will send the goods in 20 days. So reliability of supplier also taken into consideration for storage of goods. Then availability of स्टोरेज स्पेस. आपका कंपनी में कितना जगह है रॉ मटेरियल को स्टोर करने के लिए, ये भी एक पॉइंट है. सेकंड वन इज अमाउंट ऑफ कैपिटल अवेलेबल. आप कितना अमाउंट डेडिकेट कर सकते हैं टू स्टोर द रॉ मटेरियल, बिकॉज द मोर यू स्टोर द मोर कैपिटल विल बी ब्लॉक्ड इन योर इन्वेंटरी. सो ये भी आपको देखना पड़ेगा मेरे पास कंपनी कितना पैसा है, सो दैट आई कैन ब्लॉक इट विथ रॉ मटेरियल. कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोक्योरमेंट, अगर मैं कितना प्रोक्योर करूंगा सो दैट मैं कॉस्ट ऑफ प्रोक्योरमेंट मेरे को कम पड़ेगा. मैं कितना क्वांटिटी में प्रोक्योर करूंगा, व्हाट इज द साइज ऑफ माय क्वांटिटी, सो दैट माय प्रोक्योरमेंट कॉस्ट विल बी लेस. कॉस्ट ऑफ स्टोरेज, ये जो मैं स्टोर करूंगा लाके, मेरा स्पेस जाएगा. पीपल हु विल वॉच दिस, दे विल टेक सैलरी, एवरीथिंग इन दैट वेयर हाउस will be maintained. So ये कितना कॉस्ट जाएगा, ये सब को लेके.
Sir, one of the questions, sir. The capital also be invested in this huge amount. So for the interest should be paid to bank. That is the extra burden also.
Yes. So that is why availability of capital is a factor for storage of raw material.
Yes, sir.
The point to say that is quite right. That is under storage cost or carrying cost. When you take loan from bank or you invest in raw material that is blocked, if either you take loan or you have money you investing, the same case. In case of interest taking back, you have to pay interest cost, implicit cost. If you invest your own capital, that is cost of implicit cost. Means if you invested that your own some, you can get income. So that income you will be while storing material. In both the cases, while taking loan or you invest your own, is explicit cost and implicit cost. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Ask the question. Yes. Hello. Question. Very question. Any question to ask or not? Then objectives of inventory control. Objectives of inventory control. Am I audible? Please respond, students. Am I audible? How many are there? Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Sir.
वॉइस नहीं आ रहा है।
objectives तो तो हेलो तो हेलो
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
objectives of inventory control. What are the objectives? The but means that that production should be stopped ये ना because of shortage of raw material और raw material कि our production will be stopped because of shortage of raw material. This is called avoid understocking. Then another objective is what? Avoid overstocking. That if you will stock large amount of raw material, what will happen? Now the carrying cost, the blocking of capital will be maximum. जो कैपिटल हमारा है ये रॉ मटेरियल में बहुत ज्यादा ब्लॉक हो जाएगा और ब्लॉकिंग ऑफ कैपिटल मींस यू आर लूजिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज आप इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी लूज कर लोगे जब आप पर कैपिटल नहीं होगा दैट मींस यू आर लूजिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज सो इसीलिए एज कैपिटल है जो लार्ज कॉस्ट हमें हमें ये कैपिटल को ब्लॉक नहीं करने देना है और हमें कैपिटल को फ्री रखना है सो दैट हम उसको अलग काम में यूटिलाइज कर सके अवॉइड ओवरस्टॉकिंग थर्ड क्या हो गया ना अचीव इकोनॉमी इन परचेजिंग इकोनॉमी इन परचेजिंग मींस हमारा जो प्रोक्योरमेंट कॉस्ट है हमें जो कॉस्ट लगेगा आपको प्रोक्योर करने के लिए वो प्रोक्योरमेंट भी कम हो और जो कैरिंग कॉस्ट है जो कॉस्ट ब्लॉक हो जो इंटरेस्ट जो भी वो भी डिस्कस किए थे इंटरेस्ट पेड ऑन कैपिटल वो जो कॉस्ट है वो size of raw material should be that there are procurement cost or ordering cost or carrying cost both will be minimum जब ये दोनों मिनिमम होगा तब जाके हमें फायदा होगा मिनिमाइज लॉसेस ऑन स्टोर्स मींस अगर हम लार्ज रॉ मटेरियल स्टोर करेंगे वी कैन नॉट टेक केयर ऑफ द रॉ मटेरियल्स वो क्या होगा ना उनमें ज्यादा चोरी होने का चांस रहेगा ज्यादा खराब हो जाएगा रॉ मटेरियल सो विल मेक श्योर दैट हमारा जो लॉस हो बिकॉज ऑफ थेफ्ट बिकॉज ऑफ वेस्टेज ये कम हो अगर हमारा लॉस ज्यादा हो गया हो जाए then out of the product will increase then ensure timely inventory information means एक ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है ना प्रॉपर इंफॉर्मेशन हम दे सकें किसको परचेज 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 डिपार्टमेंट को सो दैट और रॉ मटेरियल शुड बी प्रोक्योर्ड एट द राइट टाइम अगर हम उसको गलत रॉन्ग इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगे देन प्रोडक्शन बंद हो सकता है बिकॉज ऑफ शॉर्टेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल और ओवरस्टॉकिंग हो सकता है इसीलिए हम उसको अगर राइट इन्फॉर्मेशन देंगे so that the purchase department will purchase or raw material will be maintained then there are two fundamental questions arises in inventory control when to buy और how much to buy हमें कब खरीदना है और कितना खरीदना ठीक है तो आंसर is anybody with me or all of you left hello
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
So, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the basic objective of inventory control is that हमें दो चीज देखना है, हमें कब खरीदना है और कितना खरीदना है. अगर if you answer these two questions properly, then our inventory control will be good. When to buy, that is means reorder label. Reorder label means when our raw material reaches the point when we start the process of ordering raw material. जितना पास अगर कोई किसी के घर में चावल खरीद के खा रहा होगा, आई एम गिविंग जस्ट एन एग्जांपल. इमेजिन सपोज मेरा घर में मैं चावल खरीद के खा रहा हूं, मींस आई बॉट राइस देन आई फूड बिकॉज आई हैव नो कल्टीवेशन ऑल दोस थिंग्स. पर डे I need 2 kg of rice for my home. Per day consumption of rice at my home is 2 kg. सबका हमें जो देखना, चावल थोड़ा और होगा, मीन्स 4-5 दिन का चावल बाकी होगा, then he asks your father to bring rice for the month. So what I am telling, जिस 4-5 दिन का चावल बाकी होगा, मम्मी पापा को बोल देते चावल लाने के लिए, जो 4-5 दिन का चावल बाकी है, that means that is your reordering label for ordering rice. Okay, that means your mother knows that your father will take 5 days to home, so that up to 5 days you have rice for consumption. अगर ये थोड़ा कम हो गया, देखना तुम्हारा आपका घर में एक दिन चावल खाने के लिए भी नहीं होगा, so that you will be hungry. Okay, so this is reordering label, means you will take care of the lead time for purchase of raw materials. Means what is the lead time you will take for ordering of raw material, how much time it requires so that you will receive the raw materials. In this case, this is called reordering label. Means when the reordering label reaches the company, the company starts ordering the raw material. This is called reordering label. Reordering label take care of the lead time in purchasing of raw material. Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
বইটা কোন বলো বই am I audible now?
Yes,
Am
sir.
I
Yes,
audible
sir.
now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think all of you understand what is reordering label. Okay. All of you
Yes, sir.
understand reordering label or not?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So there are two systems for the system, perpetual review system, another is periodic review system. In perpetual review system means when getting me? In your book maximum level, reoccurring level, maximum means
सर कुछ सुनाई नहीं देता सर.
clear. My voice is audible.
Sir, not audible.
Now also not audible. Now I'm clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In periodic review system, when your raw materials reach reordering point, then you place a fresh order for raw material. Suppose मैं अपना reordering लेवल फिक्स किया 500 यूनिट. जब मेरा रॉ मटेरियल लेवल 500 यूनिट को टच कर जाएगा, मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं नया ऑर्डर देना स्टार्ट कर दूंगा कि मेरा अभी रीऑर्डरिंग लेवल आ गया, तो मैं अभी नया ऑर्डर देना स्टार्ट कर देता हूं. ये जो ऑर्डर में दूंगा, ये कितना दिन का कब दूंगा, ये जो क्वेश्चन में दिया रखा है या बुक में ना, मैक्सिमम, सपोज मेरा मैक्सिमम स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी है 1000, मेरा रीऑर्डरिंग पॉइंट है 500. सो 1000 माइनस 500 प्लस लीड टाइम कंजप्शन मीन्स 100 माइनस 1000 माइनस 500 प्लस अगर मेरे को रॉ मटेरियल प्रोक्योर करने में 10 दिन लगता है, आई नीड 10 डेज फॉर प्रोक्योरमेंट और पर डे मेरा 30 रिक्वायरमेंट है, then 30 into 10 300, so 500 plus 300 800 जब मेरा मटेरियल पहुंच जाएगा तब मैं रीऑर्डरिंग देना, तब मैं क्या करूंगा, ऑर्डर देना स्टार्ट कर दूंगा. आर यू गेटिंग मी? आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग यू अगेन. सपोज मेरा मैक्सिमम लेवल है 1000, रीऑर्डरिंग लेवल है 500. 1000 माइनस 500 इज इक्वल टू 500. मेरे को 500 रखना है अभी. ये 500 के बाद मेरे को लीड टाइम कंजप्शन रखना है. मतलब लीड टाइम मतलब द टाइम रिक्वायर्ड फॉर प्रोक्योरमेंट. सपोज मैं आई रिक्वायर 10 डेज फॉर प्रोक्योरमेंट. एवरी डे माय रिक्वायरमेंट इज 30, तो 30 into 10 फॉर 300 मीन्स ये जो 10 दिन लगेगा प्रोक्योरमेंट करने में, इस 10 दिन में मैं कितना कंजप्शन करूंगा, 300 कंजप्शन करूंगा. तो मेरा रीऑर्डरिंग लेवल है 5, रीऑर्डरिंग लेवल कितना होगा, ये 500 माय प्लस 300 इक्वल टू 800. सो मेरा जब 800 आ जाएगा रॉ मटेरियल, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, स्टार्ट कर दूंगा प्रोक्योरमेंट. सो ये जब 10 दिन तक मेरा 10 डेज जब मेरा रॉ मटेरियल मेरे पास पहुंचेगा, मेरे पास रॉ मटेरियल कितना हो गया होगा, 500 हो गया होगा. Is it clear or not?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay. Then it is called periodic review system. मतलब इसमें क्या होता है, एवरेज कंजप्शन ड्यूरिंग रिव्यू पीरियड प्लस लीड टाइम कंजप्शन. मतलब इसमें क्या होता है, मेरे को एवरेज कंजप्शन, इसमें क्या है, फिक्स्ड इंटरवल ऑर्डर हो गया. ये जो पीरियोडिक रिव्यू सिस्टम में क्या हुआ, मतलब मैं एक पीरियड फिक्स कर, मेरे को हर 2 महीने में ऑर्डर करना है और हर 3 महीने में ऑर्डर करना है. ये हो गया पीरियोडिक रिव्यू सिस्टम. इसमें आपको क्वांटिटी नहीं देखा जाता, इसमें देखा जाएगा क्या, हाँ अगर मेरे को साल में 3 बार ऑर्डर करना है या 4 बार ऑर्डर करना है, देन आई विल इमीडिएटली ऑर्डर आफ्टर द टाइम. और अगर मेरे को साल में 4 बार ऑर्डर करना है, देन आई विल फॉलो आफ्टर ऑर्डर आफ्टर 3 मंथ. अगर 3 बार करना है आई विल ऑर्डर आफ्टर 4 मंथ। इसमें क्या होगा ना, अगर तुम जिस टाइम में, अगर मेरे को 4 मंथ में ऑर्डर करना है, मेरा 4 मंथ का एवरेज कंजप्शन कितना है प्लस लीड टाइम कंजप्शन, जो कि मैंने ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन कर दिया व्हाट इज लीड टाइम कंजप्शन। ये हो गया पीरियडिक रिव्यू सिस्टम। हो गया। पीरियडिक रिव्यू सिस्टम में क्या होता है ना, यू हैव टू गिव कांस्टेंट ऑर्डर आफ्टर ए फिक्स्ड पीरियड ऑफ टाइम। ओके, shall I continue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then reorder quantity। ये हो गया हमें जो हमने डिस्कस किया अभी, परपेचुअल रिव्यू सिस्टम और पीरियडिक रिव्यू सिस्टम। ये हो गया आपका व्हेन टू ऑर्डर, आपको कब ऑर्डर करना है। नाउ विल स्टडी कितना ऑर्डर करना है, व्हाट इज द क्वांटिटी विल ऑर्डर। ये क्वांटिटी ऑर्डर में देयर इज ए वेरी पॉपुलर concept, economic order quantity. I don't know you know what not, or graduation, or if you did graduation in commerce, then all of you might studied this economic order quantity. The formula is 2CO by I root over, means 2C हो गया ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट, O हो गया ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट, C हो गया एनुअल कंजप्शन, डिवाइड बाय I हो गया कैरिंग कॉस्ट। ये अगर आप इतना चीज लेंगे देन आपको यू विल गेट ए ordering quantity, how much you will order, so that there the ordering cost or carrying cost of both the of procurement will be minimum. Always we have a objective that कि हमें इतना ऑर्डर करना है जहाँ पे हमारा ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट और कैरिंग कॉस्ट दोनों कम होगा। सो ये जो दोनों कम करने के लिए ये फॉर्मूला है टू इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी। इफ यू ऑर्डर इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी बाय पुटिंग दिस फॉर्मूला, that quantity will give you the lowest ordering cost and carrying cost. Ordering cost means एक ऑर्डर देने के लिए कितना कॉस्ट खर्चा हो रहा है, carrying cost means storage cost by interest cost that will be incurred while storing goods. Then selective inventory control, there is ABC analysis in a book. ABC means always better control. ABC means if you divide your raw materials in 3 categories so that you can take care of the goods. In A categories, those are the raw materials which are small in quantity but high in value. छोटा क्वांटिटी होगा बट कॉस्ट ज्यादा होगा, ये आएगा ए कैटेगरी में। बी में क्या आएगा, मीडियम क्वांटिटी मीडियम वैल्यू। सी में क्या आएगा, लार्ज क्वांटिटी लेस वैल्यू। So if you categorize raw material in these 3 categories, then you know that a category of material will take proper care because it is too costly, and if this A category material will be lost, then we have to pay a huge cost for raw material. Okay, this is ABC analysis, always better control. I think there will be no other important concept in this last chapter. The first book is you already, I finished the IBO 5 first one book up to unit 5. Next class when I will take, you kindly go through from unit 1 to unit 5. If you have any doubt, you ask me. I will first clear the doubt, then I will move to 6 next unit. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. For today, I think